Have you ever wondered why a dog that ignores everyone else walks straight toward you? Why a baby across a crowded room locks eyes with you and won't look away? What if that reaction isn't random, and it isn't mystical, but biological? Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're breaking down something that feels almost magical, but is actually deeply physiological. If animals and babies are consistently drawn to you, this video will help you understand what they are really sensing and why that same quality can sometimes make adult interactions feel exhausting. You walk into a room and the dog that supposedly hates strangers comes directly to you. You sit quietly at a gathering and the baby being passed around suddenly turns, searching, until their eyes land on yours. You visit a friend and their cat, the one who hides from everyone, curls up on your lap. People laugh and say, "Animals just love you," but they rarely ask the deeper question. What are you giving off that pre-verbal beings can read so clearly? Babies and animals don't process social performance the way adults do. They're not evaluating your clothes, your job, your charisma, or your status. They are scanning for safety. Their nervous systems are constantly reading subtle cues, breathing rhythm, muscle tension, micro-expressions, tone shifts, and heart rate variability. Long before language, survival depended on accurately detecting threat or calm. So when they respond to you, they're not responding to charm, they're responding to regulation. Your body carries a nervous system signature. It shows up in how fast you breathe, how tightly you hold your jaw, how steady your gaze is, and how consistent your internal state is with your external expression. Babies and animals are exquisitely tuned to this coherence. They don't need words to feel it. One of the first things they sense is calm presence without agenda. Most adults enter a space wanting something. They want to be liked. They want to entertain the baby. They want the dog to respond. That wanting creates subtle pressure. Even if it's kind, it's still directional. It carries expectation. Babies feel expectation as demand. Animals feel it as pursuit. When you sit quietly without trying to extract a reaction, your nervous system isn't sending out that signal. You're not leaning forward energetically. You're not chasing engagement. You're simply available. Availability without pressure reads as safety. Think about how many adults operate in a constant state of low-grade tension. They are calculating conversations, managing impressions, monitoring reactions. Their internal systems are busy. Even if they are smiling, their bodies may still be braced. Babies and animals notice that brace. If you have learned, often through life experience, to regulate yourself deeply, you may carry less visible tension. Maybe you had to become observant early on. Maybe you learned to read rooms. Maybe you became skilled at calming yourself because no one else did it for you. Over time, that self-regulation becomes embodied. It becomes your baseline. When a baby stares at you and holds that gaze longer than expected, it can feel almost uncomfortable. There's a sense of being seen without layers. That's because they are not interacting with your social mask. They are interacting with your nervous system. They are checking for congruence. Congruence means your inside matches your outside. If you smile, it's because something in you genuinely softened. If you are calm, your breathing and heart rhythm reflect that calm. There isn't a large gap between what you feel and what you display. Adults learn to split. We learn to say, "I'm fine," when we're not. We laugh when we're anxious. We hide irritation behind politeness. That fragmentation creates mixed signals. Our face says one thing, our body says another. Pre-verbal beings don't trust mixed signals. Animals evolved to survive by detecting micro-inconsistencies. A predator can look relaxed while preparing to attack. A human can speak kindly while harboring tension. So animals watch the body more than the words. When your signals are aligned, when your expression matches your internal state, their systems relax. They approach coherence. There's another factor at play. You are not radiating predatory energy. Predatory doesn't mean aggressive. It means grasping. It means wanting something from the interaction. Many people, without realizing it, lean forward energetically. They try to pull a reaction. They want to hold the baby. They want the dog to validate them by coming closer. That desire tightens the body. The shoulders subtly lift, the breath shortens, the gaze sharpens. It is subtle, but it is there. If you've learned not to chase, not to demand, not to impose, your energy feels different. There is space around you. There's room for the other being to choose. Choice feels safe. When a cat walks across a room and selects your lap, it is responding to the absence of pressure. When a toddler keeps looking at you from a distance, it is because you did not intrude on their autonomy. You allowed them to initiate. This quality often develops in people who are deeply attuned. If you are used to reading others, you likely know what it feels like when someone pushes into your space emotionally. You may have made a quiet commitment not to do that to others. Animals and babies feel that restraint. Another layer is attentiveness without objectification. Most adults look at a baby and immediately project, cute, funny, mine to entertain. They look at a dog and see a pet, an accessory, a source of comfort. Even when affection is present, there can be a subtle reduction of the being into a role. If you tend to meet their gaze and recognize them as conscious beings, something shifts. You don't see a prop for your emotional needs. You see a separate system, a small but complete awareness interacting with the world. You don't overtake the moment. You allow it. That respect is palpable. From a physiological standpoint, your heart generates an electromagnetic field measurable several feet from your body. Research into heart rate variability shows that regulated emotional states create smoother, more coherent patterns. Other nervous systems can entrain to that stability. In simple terms, calm systems help other systems calm down. Babies are especially dependent on co-regulation. Their nervous systems are immature. They rely on external cues to determine safety. When they lock eyes with someone whose system is steady, their own physiology can begin to settle. Animals, too, co-regulate. A relaxed human can lower a dog's arousal level. A tense human can increase it. So if you consistently notice that animals approach you and then relax, lie down, or soften, that is feedback. It suggests your baseline state communicates non-threat. But here is where it becomes complex. The same quality that makes animals trust you can unsettle adults. Many adult interactions run on performance. There is subtle mirroring, exaggeration, social enthusiasm. People expect visible signals of engagement. They expect emotional management. They expect you to help maintain the atmosphere. If you are simply present without overperforming, some adults may interpret that as distance. If you are not anxiously filling silence, they may label you intense. If you do not chase validation, they may feel unsure how to position themselves around you. Your lack of grasping removes the familiar script. For people who are used to controlling emotional dynamics, your steadiness can feel like a mirror. Without you adjusting to them, they have to sit with their own state. Not everyone enjoys that. This can lead to a strange pattern in your life. The beings who cannot fake, who cannot manipulate, who have not yet built complex defenses, trust you immediately. Meanwhile, some adults struggle to categorize you. It's not because something is wrong with you. It's because coherence stands out in fragmented environments. If you have spent years doing inner work, processing emotions, learning self-regulation, or simply surviving in ways that require deep awareness, your nervous system may be finely tuned. You may notice shifts in tone quickly. You may sense tension in a room before anyone names it. That sensitivity, when regulated, becomes grounding rather than overwhelming. Babies and animals respond to grounding. When you enter a space without trying to dominate it, without broadcasting need, without hiding behind a mask, your system says, I am here and I am not a threat. For pre-verbal beings, that message is everything. There is also something important about eye contact. When a baby holds your gaze, they are conducting a silent scan. Is this face safe? Are the eyes soft? Is the breathing steady? Are the micro-movements predictable? If your eyes are not darting, if your expression is genuine rather than exaggerated, it gives them a stable point of reference. Stability is rare. In a world of constant stimulation, loud voices, sudden movements, and emotional volatility, a regulated nervous system is like a quiet harbor. Of course, small beings move towards it. But maintaining that state around adults can be draining. Adults may unconsciously expect you to absorb their stress, to adapt quickly, to soothe them. If you're empathic, you might naturally pick up on their tension and start adjusting yourself. Over time, that can exhaust you. The key distinction is this: animals and babies approach you because you are not trying to take from them. Some adults approach you because they sense you can hold them. Those are very different dynamics. Understanding this can help you stop dismissing these repeated experiences as coincidence. If it happens occasionally, it might be random. If it happens consistently across environments with different animals and children, that pattern is data. It suggests that your baseline state is legible and safe. That is not mystical, it is embodied communication. The next time someone laughs and says, "Animals just love you," you can quietly understand that what they are seeing is the outcome of nervous system regulation and emotional congruence. You are not broadcasting charm, you are broadcasting coherence. And coherence is rare enough to be magnetic. If you often feel like you are operating on a frequency others don't fully detect, consider that pre-verbal beings are detecting it just fine. They're not distracted by social layers. They are not evaluating your resume. They're reading your baseline state, and they are choosing it. So instead of brushing it off, let it be feedback. Let it remind you that despite the pressures to perform, to fragment, to armor up, your system still knows how to remain open and steady. That is not a small trait. It means you have retained something fundamental in a world that often rewards disconnection. It means your body has learned safety well enough to transmit it. And the ones who rely on instinct over performance recognize that immediately. The babies and animals already know what your presence feels like. Now, you know too.